Book of Heaven, Volume 2, September 22nd, 1899. Repugnance in Writing. I felt a nail stuck in my heart because of the words spoken yesterday by sweet Jesus. And he, always benign with this miserable sinner, to relieve my pains, came, and all compassion for me told me,
"My daughter, do not want to afflict yourself any longer. Know that everything I make you write, either about virtues or in the form of similes, is nothing other than having you portray yourself and the perfection which I made your soul reach."
Oh God, what a great repugnance I feel in writing these words, because what he says does not seem true to me. I feel I still don't understand what virtue and perfection is, but obedience wants it so, and it is better to croak than having to deal with her. More so, since she has two faces. If one does as she says, she assumes the appearance of a lady and caresses you like a most faithful friend. Even more, she promises you all the goods that are in heaven and on earth. But then, as soon as she detects a shadow of difficulty against her, immediately, without letting herself be noticed, one goes about looking at her and finds her a warrior in act of arming his weapons to wound you and destroy you. Oh my Jesus, what kind of a virtue is this obedience that makes one tremble at the mere thought of her? So, while Jesus was saying those words to me, I told him, "My good Jesus, what good is it for my soul to have so many graces, if then they embitter the whole of my life, especially because of the hours of your privation? In fact, comprehending who you are and of whom I am being deprived is a continuous martyrdom for me. So they serve me for nothing other than to make me live continuously embittered." And he added,
"When a person has tasted the sweetness of a food and then is forced to take the bitter, in order to remove that bitterness, he doubles his desire to taste the sweet. And this does much good to that person, because if he always tasted the sweet without ever tasting bitterness, he would not hold the sweet in great consideration. But if he always tasted bitterness, without knowing the sweet, not knowing it, he would not even desire it. Therefore, both one and the other do good. So it is good for you also."
And I, my Jesus, most patient in tolerating a soul so miserable and ungrateful, forgive me. It seems to me that this time I want to investigate too much. And Jesus?
"Do not trouble yourself. It is I myself who raise these difficulties in your interior, to have the occasion to converse with you and also to instruct you in everything."
Thank you for being a part of our community here at Divine Will app. If you enjoy listening to Jesus' lessons on how to live in the divine will, please give this video a thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more souls yearning to live in the kingdom of the divine will. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections, so drop a comment below. Your insights not only enrich our community, but also inspire others on their spiritual journey. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By joining us, you're helping to spread the news of the kingdom of the divine will, so that together we can bring his kingdom to reign on earth as it is in heaven. In the divine will, always.